move, close all the seats, close all the gaps.
move back, bro. Bro, let's move back, please. I don't want to move back. Ramon. Yes. Okay, please, can we? LSDPC, capture. Okay. Sometimes I can see you I like it.
May we rise as we big welcome the Executive Governor of Lagos State, His Excellency, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, as he walks into the hall, and also the Chairman, Hairs Holdings Group, Mr. Tony Elumelu, as they make their way into the hall. And with this arrival, we're poised and set to take off, and in a short while, we'll be done. You're welcome, Your Excellency. Welcome to this historic event. As we remain standing, we'll have the national anthem. Thank you very much. You may have your seats. Good afternoon. Good afternoon is in order. Good afternoon. It's a beautiful day to be in the city of Lagos, and an exceptional and historic moment to be in this town called Falomo. Welcome to this historic event, the revival of a landmark where creativity meets innovation. Now, it is such an interesting day because before we start, Afriland Properties and the Lagos Development and Property Corporation have taught us a very new word. And I'll read it. Third turning ceremony of Falomo Towers. Third turning. How many of you ever knew that word third? Speak your church mind. Third. if I should call you randomly, I'm sure 80% of us do not understand that word sword. But thanks to Afriland Properties, we understand sword turning. So let me break it down for you. What some of you knew, let me just say growing up, was groundbreaking ceremony, foundation laying ceremony. But today, turn to your neighbor and say sword, sword. And you know the meaning of sword? So don't worry. I will not tell you. The MD and CEO Afriland Properties, Mrs. Uzo Oshogwe, and Honorable Ayodeji Joseph, MD CEO LSPDC, will come up to give us their welcome address. First, Mrs. Uzo Oshogwe, MD CEO Afriland Properties, and as she speaks, she will take us back to the classroom and explain to us what SOD is all about. Welcome, Mrs. Uzo Oshogwe. Okay.
His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the Executive Chairman, Ikoyi Obalende Local Council Development Area, Honorable Fuad Atonda Lawal, our Group Chairman, Hess Holdings Group, Mr. Tony O. Elomelu, CON, Chairman, Directors of the Boards of Afriland Properties and LSDPC, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to welcome you to the third turning ceremony of our Falomo Towers development, a joint venture development between Afriland Properties and Lagos State Development and Property Corporation, LSDPC. We picked a theme for this milestone ceremony, the revival of a landmark. Because with this project, we intend to give Ikoyi back its lost landmark. This time, bigger and better. This development is a mixed-use development. Will speak sustainability, creativity, and innovation. This development will bring to a fore our promise to beautify and enhance the Lagos skyline, one iconic building at a time. Africapitalism, an ideology conceived by Mr. Tony Elumelu, founder of Tony Elumelu Foundation. We are so committed to this ideology, which states that through our long-term investment in real estate, we will create employment, economic prosperity, and social wealth that will transform Ikoyi, Lagos, transform Nigeria, and transform the African continent. Permit me to congratulate Mr. Governor, an astute builder and advocate for urban development, for the 2023 governorship election, for which he has emerged as the flag bearer of his party. I would also like to thank him, Mr. Governor, for his unbending support for the private sector and his belief in the public-private partnerships such as this. In February 2020, he stood by us when we commissioned Afriland Towers in the center of the Lagos Business District. Just over a year after, he also stood by us when we commissioned the iconic building Hess Towers in the center of Victoria Island. And today, the 17th of June, 2022, he stands by us with LSDPC as our partners to mark the commencement of the development of Falomo Towers. this time in the heart of Ikoyi. Both LSDPC and Afriland, we stand and we promise that we will change the face of Falomo. I would also like to use this opportunity to thank our group chairman. His resilience. I thank him for who he is, who he is to us, and for his resilience. He's the reason we stand here today. Because even when we wavered, he pulled us up and said, stick by it. So he's a model of resilience. I also thank my board, Afriland management and staff, my colleagues, and all of you for your prayers, because I know prayers have actually done this. So thank you very much for being here, and welcome to this very symbolic occasion. I'll pass you to my partner, Honorable Ayodeji Joseph.
Thank you very much, Uzo. Excellency, Mr. Governor, Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, the pride of APC in Nigeria. All ESCO members here present, Chairman S. Holding Group, Mr. Tole Elumelu, MD CEO, Afriland, Uzo Oshogwe, management staff of LSDPC, members of S. Holding Group of Afriland, captains of industry, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm indeed privileged to welcome you all to this history-making ceremony, sword turning for Falomo Towers, Ikoyi. For many of us who grew up in Lagos, especially on the islands, the site evokes memories of a glorious past. Here used to stand the then ultra-modern Falomo shopping complex, developed and managed by LSDPC. The complex was a haven for the middle and upper class shoppers who visited to purchase their daily needs. In addition, it also housed banks and offices for mostly professional practices and some SMEs. Over 40 years down the line, the corporation, in its decision to renew some of its facilities, had deemed it fit to redevelop the complex, taking into consideration the realities of today's needs as well as the environmental impact. This in turn has informed the decision to build residential apartments to provide additional accommodation to the growing middle class, business professionals, and the swelling rank of the upwardly mobile citizens of the state. For the corporation, the journey to this ceremony has not been easy. Like most laudable ventures, we have encountered challenges that are taking time to be resolved. I would just like to put on record our appreciation for the guidance and doggedness of Mr. Governor, without whose resourcefulness we would not have come this far. Mr. Governor, distinguished guests, it's my pleasure to welcome you to this event, even as I pray that the Almighty God will grant us all good health and long life to witness the conclusion of this project that we are beginning today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Today is a fulfillment of a passion, a dream, somebody's ambition, if I'm to say so, and somebody's desire. Whenever he has the opportunity to speak at private functions, government functions, to the international community, globally, Pan-African-wise, he would always say that the business of government is to create an enabling environment for private sector-driven development. So it is the business of the private sector to provide the desired economic growth and infrastructural development. And so today is a fulfillment of one of those desires and one of those passions of a man who is coming up to give us his keynote address. Make welcome the chairman, Hess Holdings Group, a gift to Africa and the world. as he gives us his keynote address. Welcome, sir.
Your Excellency, Governor, my own brother, we all started together, and he hasn't forgotten that past. When I heard the news of his emergence as governorship candidate of Lagos State, I thought, as private sector, asked for a better leader to help create and improve the operating environment that would allow us. So, Your Excellency, we are very happy, honored, and pleased to have you here with us today. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen here, thanks for coming to be with us. When my people, towards this preparation, they prepared long usual speech. And I said, this is not a day for speech making. I don't want to say three quick things. First is, I want to commend our governor and the political leaders of the state. What we are witnessing today attests to three things. First, a belief and support for private sector to succeed in Lagos State under the leadership of His Excellency, our governor. We, as the last speaker said, we believe that the development of our continent, our country, lies to a large extent in the hands of private sector. But for private sector to do well, our political leadership must create the right environment. When this journey started, we had usual disagreements. But the governor, when he took over, he said, we must make progress. And one day, I got a call from another leader who said, we need to bring back this iconic development to Lagos and Nigerian people. So I want to say thank you to Governor, and thank you for other leaders who believe in the power of private sector to develop our country. A second thing I want to say is this is an opportunity. This is a celebratory moment, but also an opportunity for us to speak to certain things that are important. I want to talk about the power of dialogue and peace. Dialogue and peace. At the time when we had the initial challenges, a lot of people put pressure, as you would expect in our environment, that we should fight. And our position is, how do you fight with your own? How do you fight with your own community? The important thing is to know what has created disagreement, and let's go about resolving those issues. And I want to say that, fortuitously, hence looking back, maybe it was good we had the initial challenge, because what we have today and bringing to people of Lagos and Nigeria is a lot better than what we wanted to do before. So thank you to Lagos State. So when we are in difficult moments, and the first option is to fight, take one step back and reflect again and ask yourself, is there any other way that can provide solution? If there is, even if it means eating the humble pie, eat it and make progress. What we see today, what we're witnessing today, is a celebration of dialogue, sense of reasoning, and humility to focus on what is important. And finally, I want to say to everyone who is interested in investing for good returns in a hospitable environment, the fifth largest economy in Africa, Lagos State is the place to invest. So, Your Excellency, thank you very much for making this possible under your leadership. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. It is my honor and unique privilege to invite the executive governor of the 5th largest economy in Africa, and pretty soon the 1st largest economy in Africa, His Excellency Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, for his remarks. Welcome, sir. It's your time.
Thank you very much. Please, may all be seated. Thank you. Thank you. Members of the State Executive Council that are here, I'm sure this must be very unique for them. I have Commissioner for Fiscal Planning, is important. It takes the boss. I have Commissioner for Housing, is important. The Permanent Secretary Lands, the Surveyor General, Commissioner for Information. Uzo, you've done very well by bringing all of them down here. So you actually can get all of your approvals and everything in all full scope. I also want to acknowledge the chairman of the local government that we are in, one of our young bright minds, Mr. Fuad Atonda Lawal. Thank you very much. And it's an honor to recognize and to acknowledge once more my very good friend and brother, a man with a large vision, a very, very completely detribalized Nigerian, a man that has a big heart for the youth, for the enterprise industry, and for the entire ecosystem of financial services now in real estate, Mr. Tony Elumelu, a chairman of Hairs Holding, chairman of several outfits. Thank you very much, Mr. Elumelu. Thank you. And also, by extension, Uzo, board members of Afriland, you are indeed welcome. The MD of LSDPC is looking at me. So this is your own, don't worry. So the MD of LSDPC, the directors and staff and members of this great institution, I want to acknowledge each and every one of you. Friends from the UBA family, all of you are acknowledged. Our partners, nobody have talked about the main people that will make all of these things happen. The developers, the architects, the surveyors, the structural engineers, the construction company, because we can make all the noise, we can make all of the things here today. Once we leave here another 30 minutes, this site belongs to them. We want to acknowledge you, want to thank you for coming out here in large number. Gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. First is to apologize, because as a leader, you must certainly be able to account for your time. Time is precious, time is money, and I know that if we quantify, the amount and the wealth of people sitting under this canopy here today, 1 hour is a lot of money for them. So I want to apologize for starting this very simple but very unique activity for starting late. I'd had to call Mr. Elumelu this morning, and because we don't have that much finances, if I had spoken to him earlier, he probably would have said it's a small jet to pick me. But we had, because I was in Abuja this morning, I had to travel to Abuja last night, overnight meeting. I knew this morning, just try and look for a flight to come down. Because this is very important for me. I could have given reasons. I said, I don't have a plane, I don't have a flight. No. But we have to make sure that once we give a commitment, we'll keep to those commitments. So indeed, I want to apologize, but I'm happy that you can believe in me and get me here in one piece. And it's really about our country. It's really about who we are and what our commitment is. And that's why, for me, this is an important but a very simple event. All of us have spoken. Falomo has a lot of history behind it. The name, the location, where it sits in Lagos, where it sits in Ikoyi, has decades of history behind it. And so for us to be bringing back the old name, the old glory, the whole ambience that we all grew up to know, I think it's very, very phenomenal, and it's an history that we should not forget. And like they've said, with the best of intentions, good intentions also has its own time before it nurtures. I was privileged to be the MD of LSDPC when we all started this almost 10 years ago. And, it's interesting, looking at Uzo, looking at Mrs. Abdurazak, We've all gone through arbitration. We've all fought ourselves. But each time we know that we shouldn't throw a wrong punch because we all agree that this is something that we should be doing. And like the chairman rightly said, you don't start a fight and believe that you cannot have an handshake. And I think people need to understand and live with that experience. There's nothing in life that you cannot be resolved. There is no issue that you cannot, if you put your mind and your heart to it, you can bring it back and you can resolve it. What has been sitting here, we've got over almost 1,000 piles that is sitting in this location, and this was an investment that was made several years back. But this is where we are today, right? And we're making even the transaction bigger, better, and bolder than what were conceived, 10 years ago. And so you can see the power, the Nigerianness in all of us, the Lagosian in all of us, the uniqueness to ensure that both the private sector and the public sector, we can remove all of our differences and we all can sit back, and agree, on how we can make this place a lot better. And that's why this is a clear example of what the PPP model we've been talking about, right? Falomo has a long history of LSDPC being the biggest, property company in Lagos State, being the biggest landowners in Lagos State. And they realized, at that time that, yes, this is what we're at 40, 50 years ago. In today's reality, we cannot compete with other players. We need to be able to hand over our skills, but look for, right partners. And in the right partner, we have found Afriland. And I want to say that these are organizations that have tested, trusted, and were reliable. Like Uzo said, 2 years ago in 2020, I was privileged to also go and commission their edifice, which is called the Afriland Towers now. It used to be Raymond House. It's been well put together and is Afriland in the center of Lagos Island. And I'm sure the building is turning great things. Last year in 2021, I was also privileged to hand over the highest towers, in the heart of Victoria Island. Today in 2022, we are turning the sword, and I'm sure by the grace of God, we'll all be alive to when we're doing the real handing over of Falomo Towers. Now in the heart of Ikoyi, all in Lagos. And we are blessed. And so when we put our mind to things, with a mind of possibility, great things can happen. And I want to thank first everyone, from the chairman of House Holding, Mr. Tony Elumelu, for putting together the financial package that will make sure that this thing succeeds. The monies that we're going to be spending here is a lot more now than what was thought of then. But it's also a bigger transaction that speaks to the reality of today. A lot of our youth, a lot of our young people, like I say, all these beautiful ladies, they need accommodation. And they want to have the accommodation in the heart, in the center of where they all grew up. This is for you. So you start saving for Falomo Towers. You start saving for Falomo Heights, because it will be a place where all of you will be truly proud of. 1 bed, 2 bed, 3 bed. It speaks to the reality of the young people of today. And it speaks to the reality of the middle class of today. And it speaks also to the reality of upper middle class that want to live in a space like this. So I believe it's all been put together. And like I said, it's a mixed development. It will ensure that live, work, and play, which is what we preach now. Everybody works from home. Everybody wants an atmosphere where flexibility is, and you don't still want to work. You want to be able to have time for your family. I'm sure this is what this property it's all about. And part of our other stakeholders, all of our builders, Giovanni is here. Just write a check and Giovanni will deliver for you right on budget and on time. Architect Balogun, one of our best architects, is the one. Dr. Akitilo, there will not be any structural defect here because we have the best hands, we have the best brains that are on this project. And Lagos State is also here. I'm sure they've ticked all the boxes. They've ensured that everything that needs to happen will happen, and we can see a development that we'll all be truly really proud of. And of course, the finance people are here. So everybody that needs to be in this room, needs to be part of this transaction, are here. And I want to thank all of you. I want to thank you for believing in the Lagos of our dream. I want to thank you for believing that when we all work together, we can create something that is bigger, better, and bolder, even not for us, but for generations and for the children that are going to be coming behind us. And I want to say this, that indeed, for the future of Lagos, for the future of Falomo, let us be part of this investment. Let us be part, of this development that will be coming. The young hearts that are here, start saving your money. because Falomo Towers will be the next skyline that would define modern Lagos, that would define the Ikoyi, the landscape of Ikoyi, into what, it used to be. And to also speak to the very, very old owners of Falomo Shopping Center. We've also said that it is inclusiveness, is a sustainable development that we're doing, and everybody will also have a pie, have a part of it. I'm sure if I can raise money or something, maybe they will borrow me money too. Maybe they also can make sure that I also get a retirement flat here someday. But I want to say that I'm indeed very, very excited. I'm happy that this is happening in our time. And I'm happy that I know that we've chosen the right partner in Afriland, so in Afriland Properties. LSDPC, you've done well. You've done the great things. After this, let's go look for another transaction. Let's go build another one in Ikoyi, in Victoria Land, and in all parts of the city. I know there's so many other projects that you are currently doing. There's one that we should be commissioning in Victoria Land very, very soon, and several others, just so that we can not only just mark Lagos as the 5th largest, GDP economy in Nigeria, in Africa, but that is the destination of choice. We want all the FDIs to come here. We want all of the right things to happen in here, and it is. We're on the right track. Thank you all very, very, very much for being part of today's event. We'll see you in 2.5 years when we're coming to cut, the ribbon to make sure that it becomes habitable. Thank you very much, Afriland. Tony, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Thank you, and thank you again. We're moving on to the next item, but just shortly before that, we'd like to let you know that this building is a 21st century smart building with an international focus on sustainability geared towards the reduction of carbon footprints or emissions for a cleaner, safer, and greener environment. That is the project we are stepping into. You may have your seats. Thank you so much. You may have your seats. And as the building is going to go on, I know that the chairman has reserved my own space. If you believe that, shout hallelujah. Great. So back to the classroom. I was asking from the beginning, what is the meaning of sod? And a lot of us were looking. So sod, simply put, since Uzo decided to dodge that definition, sod is simply the surface of the soil. The soil surface is not the ground. It's the soil surface. I hope I'm correct. Great. So put your hands together for me. So we're going to step, as Uzo leads, to this corner where the sod turning ceremony is going to be done. I know the chairman is there, I know the governor is there, and I know the MD, LSPDC is there. So you step and lead the way. Thank you. Ramon will join you too.
Good afternoon. So we're going to the most interesting part of today, and we'll call on His Excellency, the Governor, Group Chairman, Mr. Tony Olomolu, Mrs. Abdurrazak. Please join us. My partner, without saying, Mr. Emmanuel Norom, and my humble self. And who else? The Commissioner for Housing, please join us, please. No, let me. Careful. No, let madam. Okay. I'm fine.
Commissioner, yes.
No, Commissioner, come to this side. There's still one more.
Okay. Okay, so you need to move this. Please, the helmet, please.
They look nicer with a Yeah, and your
Governor is wonderful. Even for governor, you should keep marketing on his.
Oh, yeah.
hello, ma'am. Yes. Just to get it. No more question. No,
So, gentlemen of the press, to the glory of God and to the benefit of mankind, we now formally and officially turn the sword for the revival of a landmark, the Falomo Towers. It will be a wonderful edifice, and it will change the skyline of not only Awolowo Road, not only Ikoyi, but Lagos as a mega city. Thank you very much.
Sir, we have some segmented Okay, the two MDs, can you join them? The two MDs? Okay. Are you good? Are you guys good? Please, Chairman, please, kindly join. Hello, sir, kindly join them. Kindly join. Yes, that's. Please, sir, we would like you to, I think the sword is, we are through with it. No, let us remove. Let us remove our jackets. Thank you. Please, photographers, please go ahead. Let's look at the camera. Okay. Okay. Cameraman, please be here so that you'll be closer. Okay. Guys, please don't stop this. Please, please, please.
Red fence. Some of the iron fence. Yes. No, on your right, on your right. You are coming from Falomo Road. Okay. You're coming down. You are still coming to the
All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you for your patience. Thank you. We are almost done. We're almost there. Okay. So the executive governor and the group chairman are about to take their seats. So let's settle down. It's been a beautiful afternoon, a very beautiful afternoon. And we're at the close of the event as we call on Mr. Ayodeji Adigun, the CFO, Hess Holdings, to give us the vote of thanks. Mr. Ayodeji Adigun, it's your time.
Thank you. Thank you, MC. We are gradually at the tail end of this special occasion. It is my honor and privilege to give the vote of thanks. Let me start by saying that on behalf of the group chairman of Hess Holdings, Mr. Tony Elumelu, the board, management and staff of Afriland Properties, PLC, and our JV partner, LSDPC, I would like to express my profound appreciation to all our guests for making out time to share this notable milestone with us. Thank you very much. But permit me to especially appreciate His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, for gracing this event with his esteemed presence, despite his very crowded program. The governor made reference to this crowded program in the course of giving his remark. Despite that, he was able to create time for us this afternoon. From the launch of Afriland Towers to Hess Towers, and with this project, Your Excellency, sir, has consistently championed urban renewal, development, and economic growth for the advancement of Lagos State. We are most grateful to have you here with us. It has made a lot of difference. My vote of thanks will be incomplete if I do not appreciate our group chairman, Hess Holding, our TOE, that's what we call him, Mr. Tony Elumelu, who has been very passionate about this project. Very, very passionate. He has been the driver of this project. He has supported us throughout the journey in bringing this project to fruition. We thank you, sir, for your support, and I assure you that this project will be a source of pride to Hess Holdings Group and to all our stakeholders who are present here. Once more, our partners, LSDPC, we appreciate you very much for your commitment to ensuring that the development takes flight. We hope that this project will open the doors to more fruitful partnership in the future. Once again, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all of you who honored our invitation. Some of us have been here for quite a number of hours. We thank you very much. We are all witnessing history in the making today. I wish you a safe journey back to your various destinations. Thank you very much, and God bless.
May we rise for the national anthem? Thank you very much. Packs are being given to you. Ensure you have a pack. And we'll wait for the executive governor and the chairman of Hess Holdings to make their way out before we all also make our way out. So let's make way for the executive governor and the chairman. And follow the hashtag #Falomo Towers on your social media. Hashtag Falomo Towers on your social media handles. Share the story. Say something. Check it out. Retweet. Thank you, everyone. Trending, and this project trending. Thank you.
Thank you.